Hi. Before the show, we just wanted to address a piece of news instead of going from this to our usual banter and mick taking. On Thursday, the 6th of November, the Dallas Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland took his own life. Marshawn was a 2024 second round draft pick and had recently just scored his first NFL touchdown the weekend prior. If you or somebody you know is struggling, even the strong can have dark moments, please reach out. Call the Samaritans on 116 123. It's 116 123.
You are on mute, Joel. Expertly done.
I don't even know how that happened. Good evening, Rush Nation. Welcome to the 5 Yard Rush NFL podcast. I am your host, the Joel Hewitt, and today I'm here with the boys. Alex can't see the woods for the trees. The other one, and Pete, the off-season champion, Amelia. How the devil are we doing, fellas?
Great. Really good. Yeah, it's been a good day today, and I'm grateful for the good days.
Absolutely. Reach out and speak to your friends. Everyone says they're fine, but sometimes they aren't. Be a pest if you really need to. Alex, how you been?
Yeah, boss. We're just keep going every day. Every day is a brand new one, and if this one sucked, tomorrow's going to be better.
That's it. We're lucky that once a week we definitely get at least an hour and a half. We're pushing 2 at this point, where we get to speak to one another, check in, and have that bit of time. So just if anybody out there doesn't get this type of thing, just go start your own podcast. It's easy. It's super easy. Just at Murph, and he'll just give you one. That's just how it works. Right. Let's crack on. Let's get some news going.
Yes, sir. News from the underground.
Zazu, sir, news from the underground. Shout out to anybody who's watching vertically, by the way. If you are, give us a shout. It's a new feature, and it's a bit weird. It's just this part of our faces, so you can't see all the lovely wide shots that we've got going on here. But yeah, man, what a weekend! It's an odd news one for us this week because I found there was a lot of blowouts and boredom. So I guess let's see what's going on. Just a quick shout. Hi, Louis Cake Creation. Alex looks like Sami Zayn. He does. You're right. Just, I'm gonna highlight that one. Yeah. And that's what'll get clipped out on TikTok. Last week, insane ramblings of me shouting movie titles. This week, me humming a WWE wrestling theme.
I used to get that all the time.
I bet you did, but that's because you wear tights everywhere.
That's it.
And no shirt.
Yeah, my chest is as hairy as my face is. That's the scenario of it. And every time I see somebody, I just go, right, you're next. I'm challenging you so that I can defend my title week in, week out. Because that's how real WWE champions do it.
That's the spirit. I love that. Onto the news that is about the thing that the podcast is on. Let's just start with the big one first. Brian, and I always read it as DeBall. So Brian DeBall fired after letting the Bears beat the Giants, and but understandably, because I still live in a world where if the Bears beat you, you should step down. Everybody saw this coming. I'm sure he saw it coming. It was absolute madness. Before Pete gives us what is probably going to be the actual breakdown of this, I wanted to throw out what might be my favorite stat of the week. Over Brian DeBall's 4 seasons with the Giants are actually the worst team in New York. The Giants are 20, 40, and 1. The Jets are 21, 40, and 0. So the Jets are half a point better than the Giants have been under Brian Daboll. And that's incredible. Kings of MetLife, the New York Jets.
The other one that is really cool and links into Pete going off and crazy is in 2019, the Giants lost Pat Schumer after they got beat by the Bears. In 2021, Judge got fired after they got beat by the Bears. And in 2025, Brian Daboll got fired after they lost to the Bears. So, the Bears are the curse of a Giants head coach.
That is, I didn't even pick up on that one. That is spectacular.
So good. I absolutely love that because I jokingly put understandable there. So thanks for proving me right. I feel like I could just lie out my teeth and Alex and find a way to find a stat that would prove it correctly. Prove anything with numbers and facts.
It's bonkers. It's been coming, hasn't it? He seems to have. You see him on the sideline, and he's not cool. He's not composed, and he's not. That's fine if you're delivering. If you're just a big, high energy guy and you're delivering, when you're not, it just looks like you're out of control, and the team start to lose faith and lose confidence in what you're doing. And yeah, I'm surprised they let him go this season. But I think the thought was, let's try him with a decent QB, and see if that makes a difference. It turns out he had a decent QB. He just went to Indiana. So yeah, it's interesting, and he got a good QB in now, and he just he's trying to smash his head in.
Yeah, is that it? I wanted to say why now, when nobody expected anything from him really at the beginning of the season. What is it that now they're like, you know what, 8-2 or 2-8? Sorry. 2-8 is the point where we're finally going to have enough, or is it because now you've nearly knocked out Dart? What is it? I saw a stat. Is it 4 concussion protocols in 7 weeks that he's had, which is crazy. I mean, I don't expect Daboll to be out there, blocking for him, but he could probably scheme something, stop him from getting too many hits in there with a snake.
He could tell him to slide, and that's the main thing. Just make him slide and say, you have to slide when you run. Don't just run like an absolute lunatic because this is going to happen. And
stop listening to Scatterboo.
Exactly. Yeah. I think
Scatterboo's on his shoulder being like, just run for it. It's like, what? Okay.
I think part of this as well is he came across with Joe Shane, the GM, and those two seem to be kind of linked. So it's, Daboll goes, Shane goes. I think this is like a last-ditch effort from him, right? I need to separate myself from him, say get rid, because I've got good players and it's him that's not delivering with these players that I've drafted. So I think it's like a last gasp effort to keep his job. Be interesting to see what it does, because on paper they've got a lot of good players. They've drafted some really, particularly that defensive line should be out of this world, but it's not. So I think in the last couple of drafts for Shane have been good. So I think he's just saying, right, I've done my part, you've not done your part, push it away, this isn't on me. And we talked about a couple of weeks ago, I think there's going to be a lot of jobs coming up, both in the NFL and a lot in college. So by getting ahead of this, they can start the process now. It's going to be an appealing job. The Giants always are. So get ahead of there and start making the moves now, ready for next year.
The other one that is absolutely crazy is so Fox Sports, right? They put out their weekly defensive and offensive rankings, don't they? So the Giants are 29th in total yards and touchdowns allowed in terms of that defense. So that adds in terms of all of that. Their defense is underperforming massively. There should be a top 5 defense in this league. We've talked about that before. We have mentioned it multiple times. I think the other gut punch for Dayball was the fourth quarter bottle-ins.
Yeah.
There have been so many of them this season where the Giants have been 96% guaranteed to win. Yesterday, they were 99.6% expected to win that game, and they still lost it. There's been 4 of them in total. If you win half of them and you're at 4-6, his job is safe right now. But it is categorically showed he cannot game manage this thing as well. And then you add the dart concussions. No, that's why they pulled this trigger early, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think they've carrying on the wrestling things. They've kind of been Taka Michinoku. If they look really, really good to start with, but they don't win, but they look really entertaining for the first few minutes. And then they came up against Hulk Hogan yesterday, who doesn't know when he's beat. On Sunday, doesn't know when he's beat. And it was just the worst possible matchup for them. Going with the
Taka Michinoku is where you went there. Taka Michinoku of all of the... Fair enough.
I loved.
He's got that Royal Rumble highlight, hasn't he? Where he bounced off his own face and he was never seen again. Look, should we just do what we usually do in this news section? Hang your heads down, and Pete gives a breakdown of everybody who won't be playing either for the rest of time or at least next week.
It's not actually that bad this week on the injury front compared to what it's been the last few weeks. Jonathan Greenard, the Vikings star linebacker, has avoided major injury, which is good. He's probably only going to miss one game, which is on Sunday, which is a good game to miss as a Bears fan. But that's a positive thing for the Vikings because he's really, really important to that defense. Dalton Kincaid, who's been quietly actually really, really good. He's been a fantastic player for the Bears, one of the better ones, is week to week with a hamstring injury.
Good Kincaid, I find. Everyone kind of forgets about him. I wouldn't play him week in, week out in fantasy, but he's pretty dependable as an NFL player. Alex just plays stand up. You play him week in, week out, don't you?
he's my tight end one this season.
Wow, you drafted late.
I did. I left it really, really late. Oh
well.
It was in my fantasy league. We'll go completely off topic. In my fantasy league, it was either Kim or Mark Andrews, and I went, well, I'm taking Kim. So I took him, and you know what? I'm sitting at pretty 500, so I'm okay.
Okay. Speaking of tight ends, Gadsden went out with what looked like a really horrible injury, that knee to knee. He's just got a bruised quad, so it's day to day. So he could be playing this weekend.
He's got a bruise.
He's got a bruise. Yeah,
he's got a bruise. He's landed on the injury report with a bruise.
Yeah, it's a bruised quad. Though
it's pretty big bruise, is what they're saying.
Yeah,
like tennis ball size bruise. Like what a. This is the lightest injury week we've ever had so far. I'm quite enjoying it. Like they're okay. Everyone's fine.
Yeah. Devonta Adams went out injured, but Sean McVay said he could have come back if they needed him. They just didn't. So he was fine. Garrett Wilson has re-aggravated his knee sprain. He's going to be out to 3 to 4 weeks. I don't know whether Justin Fields will notice. Because he's got a star wide receiver and he doesn't care. So, yeah, he's absolutely... I think they should just shut him down for the season, to be honest. I don't think there's any benefit to rushing him back. Make an excuse, shut him down, and then bring him back next year. All he's going to do now is hurt draft stock if he happens to have a big game. Travis Hunter has had season-ending knee surgery. Earlier on today, which is brutal.
Yeah, that was a really... His injury was like reported as being that bad when it went out, and then I just saw it pop up not long before we started it. It said that he was having season-ending knee surgery. It threw me, to be fair. That one.
Yeah, I think they must have known. Hence the move for was it Shaheed? Who did they trade for last week?
Yeah.
God, now you're asking. You're the person that we asked.
It was Shaheed.
No, Shaheed went to the Seahawks, wasn't it? It was there were so many trades last week. They all kind of merged into one, but they picked up another wide receiver at the end of the trade deadline.
Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers.
That's
there we go.
This week's performance of Pete will be played by the Joel Hewitt. How the tables have turned.
Yeah. So yeah, they got Jacoby Myers in, obviously thinking that we're going to need something else in there. That's the main kind of injuries for the week. Everything else was fairly minor. I mean, some of them were minor, to be fair. So that's quite nice. Obviously, Deron Payne's been suspended for punching Amon-Ra.
I mean, look, a little part of me wanted to punch Amon-Ra St. Brown anyway for like paying. It felt like tribute to Donald Trump, so I didn't really like that. So he punched him for everyone. I'll chip in for his fine. I'll do it. Like, get a GoFundMe going. I'm sure he's all right, but I'll swing him a $5. And like that to me was kind of like worth it. It was so strange though. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown was obviously they were mouthing off at each other, but. Yeah. He had to close the gap in order to like punch him. He was so far away. It was like, well, I'm committing to this.
And his defense was Amon-Ra St. Brown punched me first. Like when at school?
On camera, buddy.
Yeah. How long ago did he punch you? It's like, I've got a bone to pick. I'm going to train with him. I'm going to get the NFL, and I'm going to sock him one. He's just playing it for the long game.
His whole path, yeah. I'm going to get drafted. I'm going to make sure that in week 10 of the 2025 NFL season that I'm up against Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then it's my time to strike. What do you mean I'm getting fined, whatever it is, $50,000 and getting a ban? Like, what? Worth it. Worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Probably another big thing, when we've talked about concussions already, obviously we didn't mention Antonio Brown. Extradited from Dubai. He's in New Jersey now. He's getting down to Miami on an attempted murder charge.
Yeah, I saw that one and I was like, I need to do a Google here. So he randomly fired shots into a crowd in an altercation in the back of a boxing match or some nonsense. And then, fled to Dubai. I don't know. I think it was like months ago as well when he did this. And then he flew off and they were like, you know what? He might have shot some people, but the justice system's got to do its thing. So let's let him go. And then, they booted him out of the country and here he is now. My cousin Chris is convinced that the hit in the Browns game is the one the Bengals game is the one that proper did him. Like he folded in half. And then he's not been the same since then. I hope that they put him in a padded room. We don't want another Hernandez situation. But Brown was a bit of a prick, so I'm okay with it. Like the whole feet freezing incident, running off with his shirt off, like, okay, fine. He's had a head injury, and that's probably going to come out. But I feel like he was a bit of a knob before he took the hit.
Yeah, at what point... It's really tricky because it could be CT that causes this, but at what point do we excuse the behavior? Stop excusing the behavior because it's again and again and again and again, and he obviously he doesn't appear to be getting any help to sort it out. Whether he is and we don't know about it, I don't know. But it's not. He's not somebody I really want to waste any more time talking about, to be honest.
Yeah,
absolutely. Let's move on to Robert Gronkowski the first. What's he doing?
He's signing a one-day contract with the Patriots this week, and he will retire as a New England Patriot.
Good on him. I forgot that he wasn't a New England Patriot, to be fair. He did obviously play with TB12 over in Tampa, but I just assumed that he was on loan. Like they didn't mind that he showed up, didn't have a contract, and they were just like, let him play. Like, just put him out there. So, but like he did like a proper announcement, didn't he? He was like, not a lot of people know this, but I've signed a one-day contract with the Patriots, and everyone was like, of course you did. We didn't think you were going to retire a Buccaneer. No one thinks Rob Gronkowski, the Tampa Bay fame. Oh man, yeah. So bless him. He's one that needs to make sure he keeps getting an MRI. Just saying, like I don't know if he's too short planks or if he has also taken like many hits to the face as well. But God bless Gronk.
I feel like the hits to the head have calmed him down from what he was like before he came into the NFL. They've probably just knocked some sense into him. It's done the opposite.
That's accurate. That's more the accurate one there. But I thought Robert Kraft really hated him. I'm surprised the Patriots have let him do this. I thought him and Tom were blacklisted from all Patriots things because they dared to go against the Patriots brand. Has Vrabel got that much swing in the Patriots right now and hasn't gone, all right, yeah, no, we should be nicer to Tom. We should be nicer to Rob. Everybody that abandoned us, let's be nicer to them. Like, I thought Kraft fully hated him. This is surprising massively.
I think no matter what Kraft does for the Patriots, he's never going to be bigger to that team and to that fan base than Tom or Gronk, to be honest.
Yeah. Speaking of the Patriots, by the way, and I can't remember who it was, but like Vrabel tried to get a trade with the Titans before the deadline, and they just straight up were like, no, absolutely not. They've got such beef with Vrabel that they just don't want to like do any business with him.
Weird.
Yeah.
Given how good he was for that franchise and how successful
It
they were.
ended a bit weird though, didn't it? So maybe it's like your ex-girlfriend calling you up and being like, hey, can you lend us a $5? You're like, no more $5s. You've had enough from me. Harry Egerton says Mike Garofalo retweeted the clip of Amon-Ra throwing the punch. So there was a punch earlier that apparently, you take your time, wait until you're on the field again, and then eventually get around. He must have been really mad for those like few minutes, like, oh boy, I'm gonna sock him good, So that's an interesting way to do it. Way to get yourself suspended and find a bunch of money by holding on to a stupid grudge. But good. Hold on, wait. Does that mean St. Brown's going to get a fine and a ban as well? Let's get somebody on fine ban watch. Bandwagon segment.
Oh, nice.
Somebody write that down. Somebody write that down right now.
Nice.
Good thing we are recording. I'll show that back up. And that is all of the news today. So that's quite nice. We're doing okay for powering through stuff. Let's get a little bangers and trash, shall This is where Alex tells me that he had another news story to drop because I saw his face just as I was clicking the button to move on to the next segment.
No, I've just watched the video, and I'm not sure it's a punch. I'm like there's a bit of handbags, like hand thing going on. It's not as clear as what he did.
It wasn't a right hook.
It wasn't a right hook thing. It looks like it was either close hand as like, nah, bro, go away. Nah, bro, go away. Plus, there was also a ref literally 2 meters away from him that walks over and pushes them both apart. So, I think the NFL will have looked at it and gone no. But the person that commented is correct. Garofalo did retweet a thing of that. So yeah, thank you for that person because that made me absolutely see it from completely different light. So thank you. Yeah, bangers and trash. Sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine. We're a collaborative podcast here. Anyone is welcome. And again, if you want a podcast of your own, just tweet at Murph, and he'll sort you out. I'm gonna get some grief from him for this one. I'm gonna jump straight in with an absolute banger, and it's clearly Trevion Henderson double checking with the sideline that he can score a touchdown. It was so cool just to see him like, okay, yeah. And he had enough time to have a whole conversation with the sideline that he probably could have carried on because he was just trying to veer out to go across the entire touchline before he went over the line. And I've watched that highlight from every given angle. I've seen fan videos, I've seen drone footage, I've seen an artist interpretation. It is an absolute highlight. What a banger that was, because he was having an absolute game anyway. So then to be like, do you want me to? Yes, no, should we run some clock? Nah, you go ahead and score, mate. Enjoy yourself. Thanks. So yeah, Trevion Henderson. I immediately checked to see if I had him in every fantasy league, and I don't have him anywhere. Kind of annoyed myself.
I had him everywhere because I was so hyped before this season, and then I was like, he's going to be a star. I could see it, the breakaway speed, he looked electric. I know a lot of teams interested him in the second round, and the Patriots gazumped them when people probably didn't expect to when they had Ramondre in there taking it as such a priority. But he was fantastic. He was so good. I mean, it was two of those, wasn't it? It was because the first of those touchdowns, he bombed so fast. And because Vrabel's such a control freak with the clock, he loves his clock management. It's like, you scored too fast. You scored too fast. And I think that's part of what it was. Like, if you keep doing this, we can't control the clock. Time is everything on this. And it's not just like a timing offense for the quarterback passing. It's timing offense for when we score. And that's why you said, is this okay? I wonder if part of that's a bit of doubt as well, because he's had a bit of a rough time. Yeah, and he kind of like a rough time over the season of just being benched and dropped and not getting anywhere going. And then it's like, I really want to impress the boss. I really want to impress the boss.
Yeah, this got real Dowdle energy where I feel like, right, he's broke out now. Start him every single week. We're gonna be on the Henderson train. So yeah, good effort there. Alex, what you got? You got anything? Where you going? You going bangers or trash first?
Let's go bangers.
Bangers, love it.
This is just a sentimental one. We've talked about it on this podcast before. We'll talk about it on this podcast again. Derrick Henry finally equaled his high school record, everybody.
Whee!
Hey, Derek.
He did it. Good stuff, Derrick. Only took you 10 seasons and what you did in 4 years, mate. Well done. Good stuff. You are still a freak. You're still an absolute animal. Even though you now should be like every good old workhorse, put to retirement and kind of phased on out. Yeah.
I've been calling the terrible season of Derrick Henry for 5 years now. I traded him away in all of my keeper leagues a long time ago, being like, I've had everything that I need to from this stud. Somebody else. I'll give him off to some sucker, and I'm finally right. It's been 5 years that I'm saying this is the year where Derrick Henry loses a step, and it's finally come to fruition. If you just keep saying stuff long enough, I find that eventually it does happen. I've manifested this. It's on my mood board. God bless him. Love the guy, but yeah, it's not some salty that I did trade him away everywhere and all of my leagues from that one. Pete, what you got?
I think as it seems to be National Running Backs Week, it's bangers are running backs. Some of them we've talked about before, so obviously start with one of them. Jonathan Taylor, 3 touchdowns again. It's the 4th time in 10 weeks.
That boy.
Patrick, it's just absolutely ludicrous. He's and not just that he's getting the touchdowns, he's averaging 6 yards per carry, which is crazy this far into a season. And he's got more rushing yards than 20 other NFL teams. And these aren't rubbish teams or rubbish running backs either. He's got more rushing yards on his own than the 49ers, who've got CMC and Brian Robinson. He's got more than the Dolphins with Devon Achane. Come to that later. More than the Raiders with Giancy. More than the Falcons with Bijan. More than the Rams. They've got that kind of two-headed beast kind of with Kyron and Blake Corum. More than the Packers with Jacobs. More than the Eagles with Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. He's just ludicrous. He's an absolute...
I've never been more wrong about a player, maybe Derrick Henry, than I have for Jonathan Taylor. The holdout year where he was in the midst of all the contract nonsense and whatnot, and he was really unhappy at being at the Colts. Oh, so Patrick Mahomes is where I was mostly wrong, but this is a close second. Where I was like, yeah, he had a good year, but now he's kind of like ruined all of that with his attitude and his contract and all of this stuff. And something that I say, I think far too often is clearly they've signed him to this big contract, guaranteeing the money, and then say, look, if we give you this contract, we can trade that contract away with you. They'll pay you. We'll take it on now, but we'll trade you somewhere else. Anyway, that's been 3 years ago. And since then, Jonathan Taylor's gone from strength to strength and he's on the Super Bowl winning Indianapolis Colts, isn't he? So more the fool me.
Yeah.
I love watching him play, though. That's the difference. Like, he's just having a great time. And, you know, he doesn't look like he's going to, like, slow down. They should start sitting him, though, a little bit. Like, three a week is a bit much. Let's just settle ourselves down. Who's the other running back over at the Colts? Anyone?
Who cares? Daniel Jones.
That's the question. That's the one.
Is Naeem Hines somewhere?
No idea. Absolutely no idea. The crazy thing is that if you look at like carries and amount and stuff like that, you mentioned Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey only has 9 fewer total carries than Jonathan Taylor does all season.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor has 513 more rushing yards and 11 more rushing touchdowns than CMC does this season. And he's only got 9 fewer carries. It's crazy.
That is insane.
That is insane. I've done a check as well. The closest to him is Daniel Jones on that team, who has had the most rushes outside of Jonathan Taylor. And then you're on to Ashton Dulin, who's a wide receiver, who got 1 carry for a rush this week. And then finally you make yourself to Tyler Goodson, who also got a carry, but this time for 4 yards. So I guess to answer my own question, no, they don't have another running back. It's Jonathan Taylor, and then it's Danny Dimes.
Yeah. Was it 284 total scrimmage yards and 3 touchdowns today? You'd be really happy if your quarterback had that stat line. 284 yards, 3 touchdowns. Quarterbacks had a great game. From a running back, bonkers. And we'll talk about another couple of running backs coming up. But I think there's a wider picture here. And I think the reason we're getting these big stat lines for running backs, or starting to see that in big run games, is Mahomes' fault. When Mahomes came in and the Chiefs started to dominate, defenses and GMs said, right, how do we overcome that? And they've focused so much on the pass rush and stopping the passing game and these creative, like McVay as well to a certain extent, and these big high pass volume offenses. There's been a big push towards that. And teams have gone, right, well, if we can't pass, we need to focus more on our run game. And that's why you see the teams that have really grown over the last couple of years, such as the Lions is the obvious one, and even the Mandos getting to the NFC Championship game, really push onto that running game now. If you're going to set your defense up to stop the pass, we're just going to run. And if we focus on that, we're going to create some big strides. And I think you can see that in the teams that are playing well at the minute, particularly this season.
Are we going back to Smash Mouth football? Because I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
I think we need more big body fullbacks out here, just absolutely tanking their way through people. So that worked for me. I'm going to check out a bit of trash here, and I guess this is kind of subjective, but I've put Thursday night football and Monday night football with the exact same point line at a 10-7 game. One was, I can't believe that it's 10-7. And the other one was, wow, what a 10-7 game. So I'm confused because I woke up and I looked at Friday morning. I looked at who was playing the Thursday night game. And I was like, you know what? This is a 6-minute highlight thing. I'm not watching 3 hours or even 40 minutes of this. Yeah, end up 10-7. There were barely any highlights. I also looked at what the Monday night football game would be, and I was like, oh, actually, I'm quite interested. And then I saw the score and was like, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to bother. But yeah, gosh, 10-7, just poor.
Yeah. You want to see really good defense. I know good offense is entertaining, but good defense can be entertaining as well. But this wasn't even entertaining. It wasn't like turnovers or strip sacks or anything like that. It was just drives being stopped. It was really effective, really dull football.
Geno Smith just not being very good isn't a defensive game. It's just Geno Smith not being very good.
Yeah.
I saw he leads the league in interceptions with 12 as well. And then somebody on 11, and then the next one is like 8. So he's really going for that interception title. Somebody should tell him that there isn't one. But you know what? I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. Let the boy fly. Let's do it. Let's get Tom Brady a high draft pick.
Can he do what James Winston did a couple of seasons ago? Throw the same amount of touchdowns as he did interceptions? Because I don't even think he'll have thrown 11 touchdowns this season.
I'm gonna go check his stats now. Talk amongst yourselves.
I absolutely loved Jameis Winston's ESPN season. His 30 for 30 was just like, particularly for fantasy. If you had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin that year, you were dancing all over the room. It was box office, absolute box office. Because as long as you throw pick sixes, it's fine because you get straight back on the field. You can keep churning them up. But I think the Raiders aren't throwing enough pick sixes. That's the problem.
That is the problem. And it's come back with the results. 11 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Alex, you bang on the money. He is 31st in QBR, which means somebody's worse than him.
It's just somebody else.
Oh,
is it going to be... Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but like I've never been more great. This week really saved me a bunch of time. Thursday night football was like a 6-minute thing. Monday night football like a 6-minute thing. I'm just gonna pop into another banger from me before we go on. Early bedtime on a Sunday, baby. Blowouts on the second half. 3 games, nothing mattered. Chargers smushed the Steelers 25-10, and then it gets better. The Rams smushed the 49ers 42-26, and the Lions smushed the Commanders 44-22. Yeah, man, it was nice to catch some Z's, be refreshed for that Monday morning, ready to go. I was enjoying it anyway. I always like the late slates because I find red zone nowadays just a bit much. So when it gets to the second half of red zone, when it's just 3 games, you're like, nice, we'll just lock in and focus on the action. But then it got real boring real fast when the Chargers, Rams, and Lions just went, let's put you to bed early, is what they said to me. And I was like, you know what? Absolutely. So yeah, God bless them. I didn't see the end. I don't think I saw the third quarter of most of these. It was a good 2 hours early. So that's a banger. I got a lot more rest this week thanks to week 10 shenanigans.
Yeah, and can I kind of jump in with one of them with another trash in that
Please.
as well? And that is the Packers offense. I want to tie that into there because that roster and that coach and everything else should be a Super Bowl contender. They are really a really good team, and the coach is good, despite the evidence to the contrary of the last couple of weeks where they've lost to the Panthers and then yesterday. And we know that the Eagles are good, and we know that they're at that stage now where they play to their opponent. Kind of like the Chiefs have done that the last couple of years. They've got to that point now. We'll up our game when we need to. If we don't need to, we'll just coast through and we'll still get the wins. But the Packers lost 3 games this year for a combined 39 points given up. The defense is doing its job.
Mm-hmm.
I get that they're missing Jaden Reed. They had Christian Watson out for a little bit at the beginning. He's now back. And obviously Tucker Kraft went out last week.
He was my tight end one, just for the record. Yeah.
But they've still got a first-round wide receiver, Matthew Golden. They've still got Dubs. Still got Dontavian Wicks. They've got Christian Watson back. None of them might be a wide receiver 1, but there's enough wide receiver 2s there for this to work. And it's just not to the point where there's quite a lot of articles about Lafleur possibly losing his job, which is bananas. It won't happen. But if it gets to that point, something's gone seriously askew.
Can I just interject for a second there? Of all years for Golden to be good, it should be now. The number one song in the world is gonna be Golden. Do you know how much of a tie-in that boy could make from edits of him popping off to the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack? And they're just wasting it. Like, this feels really, really like mate, what an absolute jam that is. Alex has been on your number ones on your radio show.
To add 9 weeks comparatively, the UK official number one is that song Golden. And this week, last week, it actually dethroned Taylor Swift. So there's your thing. Like it went away because obviously Taylor Swift came out with the Left for Show Girl, blah 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 blah. But then after 2 weeks, everyone was like, "No, Golden's the best song of 2025. Let's carry on." And Mr. Alex Warren with Ordinary is crying somewhere because his 12 weeks at number one has just been forgotten. Anyway, sorry, that's the music chat. Apologies.
No, it isn't finished here. My 4-year-old took it as an offense that Golden had been knocked off of the top of the charts. So we spent basically about 3 days just listening to it, and then it went back into number one. And I don't mind it. After 4 years of listening to Let It Go, I'll listen to the whole K-pop thing throughout, back to back. It's made it into my running playlist. Nothing gets you going like that, which is why Golden should be performing right now, because he'd be selling jerseys to 4-year-old kids. I'm dumbfounded. I'm actually that mad. I'm going to see if he's on Blue Sky, and I'm going to send him a message. I'm gonna do that. I've just wound myself up enough.
I want this completely. Give me all of it. Absolutely. By the way, to everybody watching, if you haven't seen K-pop Demon Hunters, go watch it. It is actually a really good film. It is actually really good. It sounds like it would be crazy, but it actually is awesome. Go watch it.
Yeah. We have the taste of 4-year-old girls because I agree with you both.
There we go.
It slaps. Yeah, so back to that and the disrespect for the branding. Matthew Golden needs to be getting more, and I don't know why he's not. It feels like that. I mean, I know it's looking more and more like that was a PR stunt because the draft was in Green Bay. Fans have been complaining about getting a wide receiver. One said, okay, if we're going to do it here, we'll draft a wide receiver one, appease the fans, make everybody happy. He does not look like a first-round wide receiver, and he's not getting targeted like one either.
The other one that was there, obviously, Christian Watson had the huge drop as well, didn't he? He had the absolute monster drop where everyone all over X or Twitter, as we will continuously call it, Twitter was like, he should have caught that, and he retweeted someone and went, yeah, definitely. 100%.
Yeah,
excellent.
Fair play to him. And I think the biggest part of this, when you look at it and watch the games, is how conservative Lafleur is. He's play calling in a league that's pushing more and more towards explosive plays. He's just not. He's trying to control it too much. He's been really conservative play calling, and I think that's what's hampering them. Just sling it. Just let Jordan Love kick out, because he wasn't the problem yesterday, I don't think.
Which was one of the main conflict points with Aaron Rodgers originally, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Rodgers wanted this ultra high ball, because we've seen it even with the Steelers sucking, that Rodgers still can absolutely sling it and still can be brilliant. And he was like, bro, I might not be able to move, but I can still launch it 80 yards in the air, and let's go. We've got absolute speed demons either side. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's amaze it. No. We're gonna throw 6 yards, Aaron. What?
Yeah.
Won't do it. No.
Yeah, and the one time, it was Devontae Smith, wasn't it? It was who had the big bomb touchdown. It wasn't the Packers. Yeah.
But again, that's a flip side of the Eagles as well, because the Eagles are the ultra conservative one as well. And everyone keeps saying, "Oh, is Jalen going to be able to actually do anything this year?" Oh, right, yeah, no, I'll just throw it. I'll just throw it 90 yards to Devontae. Yeah, it'll be absolutely fine. I can do this. And like, I'm one of his biggest critics is Jalen Hurts because I actually think he's really overrated. But like, he can step up and perform and still do this thing. And as Joel said earlier, they are kind of in just second gear. They're not willing to go boom. Full gear yet because it's not the playoffs. Why do we care? It's like LeBron James the last month of any basketball season. I don't care. It's not the playoffs yet.
Change to the Green Bay Rembrandts.
What the Eagles get to do is really quite beautiful because they can just take a step back and watch the rest of their division just shoot themselves in the foot. They don't even have to try because they're ahead. They don't have to try because nobody around them is competing against them. I get the same feeling from like the Buccaneers, which, look out because Carolina could start creeping up on you, Tampa. But it's that, oh, well, we're going to win this. Do we have to have that number one seed? Do we want to play in the cold? I would purposefully not get that home field advantage if I was Philly, so that I could go somewhere nice and semi-tropical would be okay for me. I mean, no, they're like the number one seed, aren't they? I was going to say, so yeah. I don't know where they would end up going, but Detroit?
Still cold.
Yeah, LA, maybe. If the playoffs were set today, then maybe they would get over there. But yeah, I think they can just chill a little bit as much as I don't want them to. They're just going to coast their way through, make the playoffs without even batting an eyelid. God bless them. I've never really had much of a thing for the Eagles. I just can't. I find them not particularly interesting to watch and never really have done.
Yeah, it feels a bit clinical, doesn't it?
Yeah. It feels too Moneyball, a bit like paint by numbers, like, oh, in this situation, the odds are we should do this. So it says that we should do it. It's just like, oh, you've got to go 1 yard. Guess what's coming? That kind of stuff from there. So no hate on them. I don't particularly care for it. But let's ramp this up. Who's got a banger for me?
Can I go back to another running back? Because why not?
Please, running back week, baby.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yes.
I love Jahmyr Gibbs. He's such a fun player to watch. He is, and it helps having Penesul. He could open enough lanes that I could get positive yardage on the Detroit Lions. And I've never played running back in my life. But Gibbs' vision and speed, once he gets through that opening to make those big plays, 18 touches, 172 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's already hit 41 touchdowns, and only 5 players in history have hit 40-plus touchdowns before the age of 24. Randy Moss, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Jim Brown, and now Jahmyr Gibbs.
Lord.
Yeah. That 4 Hall of Famers and Jahmyr Gibbs. And what's even more impressive about Gibbs doing that is that he is famously part of Sonic and Knuckles. Yeah. He has got a fantastic 1B running back in David Montgomery who gets quite a lot of the goal line carries. So what could he do if they didn't have Montgomery and he was just getting that kind of Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry type workload where he just gets everything?
Injured is what he would be getting. That's what would...
He's an absolute monster of a running back. And he kind of poo-poos in the face of the don't draft running backs high. No.
Yeah.
Don't draft running backs high if you're a bad team. If you're a good team, invest in running backs because it can really make a huge difference. A huge difference to you. Montgomery's a great running back, but if they just had Monty, they are not nearly the threat that they are.
I would like to quote you at 10:17 on Sunday. I wish Gibbs was in a different division. He's so damn good.
Exactly.
That's what you text me. God bless you, like, for being a Bears guy, man. Like, I'm gonna let you have one free pass whenever you want to like cash out of the Bears. I'm feeling a bit of a Lions allegiance. I'm just gonna say, like,
they're good to watch. They are, for the most part, like a really, really likable team. There's nobody there that I really resent on that squad, and they're due. I really wouldn't resent them winning a Super Bowl. I think that franchise deserves it.
on a Thanksgiving in like 2011, I drunkenly tweeted out, I could see myself in another universe being a Lions fan. And from kind of that day, like, I'm just keep an eye on it. I'm like, you know what? It was all because of like Stafford and Megatron.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you know, they got that the rub from Hard Knocks, and Dan Campbell's cool, and like it's just nobody has any like bad word to say about them. Everybody can kind of agree that we're okay with the Lions. Also, I think a Lions Bills Super Bowl might be the best case scenario. Like the two teams that could really deserve to be there. It is a win-win for football across the board. So that's the dream for me. But yeah, Gibbs, what a guy! He absolutely he was part of the early bedtime for me. I knew that I was going to win in my dynasty league, and yeah, continue to do so, Jameer.
The Lions did make one big change this week, however. Dan Campbell started taking over plays, didn't he? He took the offensive calling of plays, which resulted in 500 yards of total offense, no punts, no turnovers. Jared Goff getting 319 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs having the stat line that Pete Ryder of 173 total yards and 3 TDs. Jameson Williams having 119 yards and a touchdown. And they scored on every possession.
Yeah. Also, welcome back, Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
God damn, that was good to see him. He's the my dynasty tight end that I just refuse to bench. Absolutely, week in, week out, I'll play him, and he's not been doing very good. Dan Campbell takes the reins, and it's just again a beautiful thing to see. So it's nice. We don't talk enough about the Lions on this, so I feel pretty good. I'm going to ruin the mood, and I'm going to talk about a bit of trash. And this isn't my experience. This is the Germany live experience. I've seen multiple reports throughout. I guess it's the official fan page of the UK NFL fans, who are absolute terrible human beings, by the way. Just cheer up. Channel 5 are doing their best, okay? But... I've seen a lot of people talking about the Germany like live experience. The field is miles away from the seats. The vendors are like outside of the stadium. So if you want to get some food or something to drink, you have to essentially leave, get something to eat, and come back. So that's a bit of a pain. But one post that I just want to put out there, and it's this is trash the person posting it, not trash the thing. Germans are having too much fun at the game. And singing and Mexican waves, and it's a tourist attraction. Like, oh dear God, are the people there that are famous for having a good time having a good time? Ugh. You know who you are, person on Facebook.
Yeah, the NFL UK Facebook page, just like you say, in general, is just a toxic place. It seems like it's full of people just trying to prove how much more of a fan they are than somebody else, rather than just actually enjoying football. It's pretty much Facebook all over, isn't it?
It is arguably worse than your local town's spotted page.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm not far from Doncaster, so like that.
Yeah,
we're still pretty bad. But yeah, that's my like one bit of trash outside of the Thursday Monday.
But what do you expect when you play at an Olympic stadium? Like, talk to all West Ham fans that have to suffer the London Olympic Stadium. If you've ever been to the unfortunate town of Grantham, they also have a running track around their non-league stadium. It's terrible. It's absolutely abhorrent. But like, if you've got a running track around a field, now you understand why like football, not American football fans really, really despise them. We hate them. And now the NFL fans can hate them too, because they ruin all sports, and sports should never be played at Olympic field. But there was a reason why it was, because all of German football was played this weekend. There was no bye week for German football, so there was no actual good stadiums to host it in, except from the Olympic Stadium.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Keep the good times coming. Can we just talk Jackson Smith in Jigba, please, Pete?
Yes. I put a message in our chat saying at some point we're going to have to stop putting JSN in the bangers. He's like a Hall of Famer now because he's so good. He has no player has ever had more receiving yards through 9 games than JSN has this season. He's got 1,041 yards, and he took the second half off. I think he took pretty much 3/4 of it off. He was so good in that first quarter, but he overtakes Julio Jones. He's on course for around 2,000 receiving yards this season, which is just bonkers.
I'm not certain that I've done 1,041 yards since the season started. In my own home. It feels like a long way, and he's a problem. And Darnold is almost the perfect fit for him, really. I know he did well with Gino and everything, but it really feels like JSN is, I don't want to say breaking out, because he was already pretty damn good, but he's stepped up again. It feels like the Triple Crown year for Cooper Kupp, where you just it's almost guaranteed. Where, you know, if you want to make 23 pence on a pound every time, every Sunday, you just go and bet on the over for Jackson Smith and Jigba, because it'll be like 1.23, because he's gonna hit it. He's phenomenal to watch. The Seahawks right up there with some of the nicest looking uniforms to watch as well. So highlights really pop because of that like neon green. The fans are great. Darnold's having fun. I think after one too many tequilas this weekend, I was like, similar to me in 2011 with the Lions, I was like, you know what, I could see myself being a Seahawks fan. Like, I just bandwagoning for all of that. So yeah, it's fantastic to see, especially a player like that who's we were trying to work out he's like 3 or 4 seasons in, but it's 3. I'm getting the nod from Alex there, which is cool, because that means we get to watch him at least for another like 8 years. So there's going to be like some good times there. And Darnold's great, and they're going to stick around with him for this year, next year. We may get an extension on that, but they could end up getting an even better quarterback and building something from there. Or, gosh, just pay the guy a relatively decent salary and then build your O-lines and your defense and just do that. Seahawks could easily like take the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
The really interesting thing is about JSN is he's already surpassed his rookie year. We're 9 games in. Yeah. And last season, he had 137 targets for 1,100 yards. He's already at 1,000. He's going to surpass probably next week. He'll surpass like what he did last season as well. This is the definition of a breakout year. Really, 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 really great. Also, if you look at his longest, his longest touchdown, that is almost like 0.5 times. It's 61 yards. Last year was 46. his rookie season was 35. So he's defining what a different thing is. But also, as Joel said, they've finally actually got a semi-decent / above average quarterback in Sam Darnold. I don't even know who they had last year or they had the year before.
It was Gino. And the daft thing is, in that rookie season, I'm sure it was his rookie season that Gino broke the Seahawks franchise record for passing yards. He owns the Seahawks franchise passing yard for single season yards. With obviously Jason, they had Cooper Kupp at that point. But we've seen, was Gino good, or did he just have really, really good receivers around him?
Are the Seahawks the exact opposite to the Jets?
Yes.
Okay.
They're good.
I'm good. I mean, they have taken 2 back-to-back Jets drafted QBs and made them look good. That aside, I'm just thinking, like, is it where similar to the 49ers, I guess, where any kind of like middling QB can come in and they just know exactly how to use them? Because it feels like I'll be the first to say I thought the Seahawks were going to be in a rebuild year. Oh, you've got rid of DK Metcalf. Oh, you've brought in Sam Darnold, who looked like he was being chased by the Pac-Man ghosts in the playoffs. Fair enough, you look like you might be having a go, but not necessarily like tanking without tanking. More on that a little bit. But then, yeah, they just like put it out of nowhere, and I just there's something about that team, man. That just could watch them. I could stay awake on a Sunday night and watch them blow somebody out 42-0. That I would like continue to watch. I wasn't particularly interested in the rest, but yeah, the Seahawks. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, and they have gorgeous kits, like you say. They're throwback kits, those blue ones. Just make them your normal kit. Just make that your normal jersey.
I hate the silver helmet, Pete. I can't do it. I can't live with that. That's the thing that bothers me. I like the retro, like blue and green, the Aztec-y, like Seahawk logo. Looks great, but that silver dome, no, looks unfinished. Don't like silver cars, don't like silver helmets. Panthers, you as well. You've got a silver helmet. That's stupid. Cowboys, silver helmet. Looks stupid. Nobody cares. Second place. Raiders, silver helmet.
Anti-RoboCop racism, this is.
RoboCop's blue.
In what universe is RoboCop blue?
No, I think he's right. I think he is. I think it's like a metallic blue.
He's right. Google it. Don't care. Anyway, moving on.
He's chrome. RoboCop is chrome.
Blue chrome. On the other side of the Germany experience, the Germany game was great. Colts Falcons. I think that was booked when nobody thought the Colts or the Falcons were going to be very good. And the Colts end up being the Colts, and the Falcons have a pretty decent defense. Also, not too bad. Weirdly enough, it was a close game, and the Falcons looked all right. But like, Penix scored like 1 point in fantasy, so I don't know what happened there. Anyway, let's move on from that. Go on, Pete. What you got? Bangers trash. Alex is gonna tell me that the RoboCop is silver.
In RoboCop 1, he is silver. In RoboCop 2, he is blue.
Everyone wins. That's what you like on the pod.
And RoboCop 2 is great. It's got Kane. You're coming with me, Kane. I love that line.
Oh, so not like Brother of the Undertaker.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to put in a trash. We normally have a weekly Pete Talks About the Bears segment, and I'm going to put it in trash.
I wasn't prepared for this. Continue.
Happy, obviously, the Bears won, but there's 2 things in trash that need to go in here. First, Jamie Gillan, the Scottish Hammer, the Giants punter, had one of the worst punter games you will ever see. He was on kickoff duty, and he kicked 2 kickoffs out of bounds, which obviously was a penalty, and brought it forward. Yeah. So he kicked 2 out of bounds, and then at the end, with the game on the line, after losing kickoff duties because he was that bad at them, he completely shanked his punt outside of his foot, just went off at like the halfway line and set the Bears up in fantastic position. He just had a bad day at the office. Hopefully he can get it back going again, because historically he's been a good a good punter, but this was a bad day today. And he may well have just lost his job. I won't be surprised if he got the boot because it was awful.
Heyo.
Whee!
There you go.
On a related note, Alameda Zacchaeus. What? Oh, if you didn't watch that Bears Giants game, you would think, oh, Caleb had a rough day. That might have been the best game Caleb has played for the Bears. Depending on who you ask, he had between 7 and 10 drops from his wide receivers. Zacchaeus was responsible for at least 3. I think his stat line is 1 of 4. 3 of those misses were drops. I'm sure he had more than that. One of them was he was completely open in the end zone for a touchdown and just fluffed his lines. It was awful. And I don't get, it was like he was dropping it. So Caleb and Ben were just like, we're going to keep targeting him. We'll get him back into this. We'll get him out of his funk and we'll keep going. And he just kept letting them down again and again and again. It was a really bad game. I will give him credit, though, on the game-winning touchdown. He showed real hustle muscle to sprint the width of the field to get that final tackle, final block, I guess, to make sure that Caleb got in. But he was awful in that game. And it's proved that Luther Burden needs to just get more targets. Luther Burden does, Coastal Loveland does, because they are safe as houses in comparison to OZ. I think the team had only had 7 official drops before this week in the entire season. And I think they doubled it in this one game.
Can we cool it on the Loveland talk, please? I'm trying to trade for him in about 3 different leagues. Let's just sell down, all right? He's all right, I guess, I suppose.
Yeah. I'll whisper it then. Don't box, score, watch Loveland. He's really good. He's really good. He's good at pass blocking. He's good at catching. He's good at route running. He will. People traded for him a lot and went after him on the waiver wire this week because of how good he was last week against the Bengals, and probably were a little bit disappointed at 50-odd yards, no touchdowns, 58 yards, I think it was. But he is playing so well, and he's earning more and more trust week in, week out. And he is going to be a star. Some plays you can tell, some plays you hope. He definitely is going to be a star tight end. He's fantastic in all phases of what makes a good tight end, and he's getting more and more confident as well. So I hope he get that trade done. Because it'll pay off in the long run, particularly in Dynasty.
Yeah, I think people are on to me, to be fair. Like it, I jumped on that train too late. I'm paying over the odds than what I should do that could like pan out, but I don't think that I'm going to pick him up in most places.
To end the Bears chat on a positive note, they are now ahead of the Packers in the NFC North, which is the first time since 2018, heading into Week 11, that's happened.
Yeah, and I don't think they're a better team. No. I really don't.
Really no. No.
They've played a lot of the same teams, and they seem to have a better record. But there's I don't know whether it's generational trauma or what. But the thing is, this week you could easily see the Lions losing to the Eagles. And you could see the Bears beating the Vikings. And if that happens, Bears are top of the North, while being probably, at best, the 3rd best team in the division at the end of Week 11. It's absolutely
Quick shout out to Roma Dunze for pointing out that his dad was tweeting about him. I think somebody said, "Oh, you got the first like offensive pass or whatever in the interview," and he literally stood there and said, "Yeah, thanks, Dad." Like that kind of. I appreciate a self-referential thing. So clearly, people are watching this podcast in the Bears organization, especially Robert Dunze and his dad. So yeah, that was a cool moment for us. I think we've made it. Getting sniped by the big guy. Alex, you got anything more on your list?
Yeah, let's do the weekly Mike McDaniel weird stuff.
Please.
Let's just do it. Like, he's weird weekly. Let's do it. Let's do it completely. which one should we start with? Should we start with the fact that he called a timeout before the game had even kicked off?
And got a penalty.
Got a penalty for it. Or should we do the fact that after they beat the Bills, he drove by the Bills' most popular dive bar where they all go afterwards and beat his horn as he drove past and was having his fist out of there and was packed doing it. Should we talk that one, or shall we talk that in his press conference after the game when he was asked about Tua Tagovailoa's 2 interceptions, he said, "I was actually really pumped. I told Tua on some third down calls to just let it rip downfield and kind of act as an opportunity ball, act as a punt, you know."
Okay, yeah, throw in the punt. Yep, absolutely. Why not? I think the drive-by is the one that I was most interested in out of these because, it's such like what would be like a baller move if you had more than 2 wins in a season. It really, the only thing missing from that was him to be in a low rider so that he could have, as he went by, just dropped it a bit low as he was going past. God, what an idiot. I guess I don't even think we'll end up getting to the hot seat topic from this week. But clearly he's just a man possessed, and I'm not entirely certain that the Dolphins are going to fire him.
No,
he's got some
really
dirt
crazy
on them.
That's the really amazing thing that is baffling to me, is that somehow he seems to be the Teflon one, not the GM, who obviously is sadly gone, and we've not mentioned that in any news things. The Dolphins got rid of their GM. Wow, amazing! He's been there years.
Daniel said so. He gave it this.
That's it. And it seems to be that you have given this guy that just has such nepo baby energy. He isn't one, but just gives that energy of being a giant nepo baby.
You might be onto something here. That is bang on.
Yeah,
but he's not. He's got no connection to that. Some people think he's a genius. I personally think he's insane. And he does this weird stuff every week. Every week we have a segment of this.
If you told me he was like the cousin of Mark Zuckerberg, I'd believe you.
Yeah. They come from the same lizard people. It's fine.
Absolutely. The pod. Yeah.
Allegedly, of course. Mark, please. Jesus.
Took me off.
Don't. Allegedly, please don't. Please don't come for me.
Nearly got us. Nearly got us.
Jeez. All I can simply say is, Mike McDaniel, please stop being weird and start winning some football games, because how you won this game, I have no idea. Nobody balled out. I mean, A-Chain was absolutely insane. Pete, I'll lead you on to that. A-Chain was different gravy, and he needed to be different gravy because it was only A-Chain.
Yeah. A-Chain, 28 touches, 225 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Daniel's strategy is, if we get a lot of really, really fast people, we'll win. He's like an Olympic relay team coach trying to play NFL. And sometimes it works, because if you've got a lot of fast people, teams have to pick their poison. So, and it's obviously not helped this season having Tyreek Hill up, but he's always got somebody injured. It's normally Tua just seeing Tweety bluebirds around his head. But A-Chan stepped up today, and that's what won. And who saw this coming?
No one.
Nobody saw this
Bills
coming.
didn't.
No. Well, we were talking last week about how good James Cook was and how bad the Finns' run defense is. And they were like, right, your defense is rubbish, and you're facing Josh Allen and James Cook. Good luck with that. And it worked. And I don't understand. NFL's weird. Interdivisional games in NFL are doubly weird at times. And that just absolutely bonkers. A-Chan deserves his flowers for what was a fantastic week, and it ties into what we said earlier on, National Running Back Week. But just, it doesn't feel sustainable, and I don't think that it will be. Mike McDaniel shouldn't be there next season because he's got one idea and it doesn't, and he's run out of alternatives. I think it's just a stopped clock being right twice a day.
However, he did get rid of the basketball machine in the locker room.
Oh, well, strike off everything that I just said. It'll be fine.
We'll cut this out, Pete. We're not live. Don't worry. We'll just take that whole segment out. Nobody will ever know any difference.
I feel really bad because like all of what you've just said, Pete, is absolutely amazing and incredible, and it should be correct that the Dolphins are the weirdest team in the NFL so far this season, because they should be at least 500 with their roster. Like, yes, you take out the wide receiver one, you still have an absolute speed demon who could run the 100 meters for the USA in the Olympics. His name is Jalen Waddle. You have an absolute machine. His name is Devon Achane. Like, you have these weapons, and their defense isn't terrible. But you have, as you've said, he's a Tweety bird. His name is Ronnie. Well, tell Ronnie you got knocked out. And that's the longest yard, by the way. If nobody hasn't seen it, watch the longest yard.
Censored it, though.
I did censor it, and I needed to. But this isn't not unsustainable either. If you want to say it, A-Chain could do this every week. Waddle could have a 2-touchdown game every week. It's not crazy to think that, because that's what should be happening. It should be the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Patriots that we talk about. Oh my God, 3 teams are going to qualify for the playoffs. Should be that. But no, we're laughing at the fact that Mike McDaniel's a weirdo, and that sadly, Tua Tagovailoa has had way too many bangs on the head for what he should have done.
Yeah, it feels weird spending this time dunking on the Dolphins when they beat the Bills, but it's right. They are. You can see the talent that's there. What would Achane do in a better running offense? What would he do with Dan Campbell? What would he do on the Chiefs? What would he do with Ben Johnson, potentially in Philadelphia? Like, he's got, with a good scheme and good blocking in front of him, he's a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. And he should open so many windows for the likes of Jalen Waddle, for, is it Gesicki?
Yeah.
Tight end? And it's not working. There's something broken there, and I don't think this win should hide that.
If there's one thing I know about the Dolphins, we can like analyze them as much as you like, but every now and again they just beat the dominant force in their division.
Yeah,
you go back to going against Brady and the Patriots. Just every now and again you'd be like, you know what? Miami or the Patriots are not going to Miami when they face one another, because back then it was like, on literally any given Sunday, Miami just go, oh, we're a football team. We don't like the Patriots, so let's do it. And I feel like that same kind of energy shone through. I was trying to like keep up with the game, and it was so strange that it felt like every time I watched, Miami didn't look very good. And then every time I blinked, Miami had more points than they previously had. They found the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow or something. I don't know. It felt very Matrix glitchy. Somewhere there's a Miami Dolphins fan that was like, rubbed a lamp and was like, hey, what if we scored 16 points on the Bills? That'd be funny, wouldn't it? And then it happened, and they were like, oh, what if we scored 16 more? And then that happened. And you're like, wait, whoa, you're wasting your wishes in Miami. You could have gone for a Super Bowl, but you've chosen to beat the Bills this week.
I think that's just how fast Achane is. You blinked and he ran 80 yards.
Yeah. It was also reminiscent of when they absolutely destroyed the Broncos and dropped like a 70 burger, on the Broncos, wasn't it? Where they absolutely destroyed the Broncos. They weren't good that week. They were not great. The Broncos weren't even terrible that week either. Like some Broncos fans will go, it's the worst day of my life. No, it's really not. It really wasn't. Like, nobody really remembers that or talks about the fact that that was there. But also for me, that was where something came loose in McDaniel's brain, because since then he's not been the same guy. He's
Ever since he took that hit from the Cincinnati Bengals, McDaniels hasn't been the same. That feels like it. Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know if it was TikTok or YouTube or something, but I watched something where they were saying the best thing to happen to the Broncos was losing that game, because it led to, it's the butterfly effect. If they'd have won that, it'd have gone the other way. They wouldn't have ended up with everything that they've got now. So that's quite interesting. We could probably continue to talk about all of these this past week as we go. Has anyone got anything burning before you want to? I'm not even going to go on the topic, but I would like to have a bit of a chat about the upcoming week. Go on now.
Just one thing. The Broncos are dumb, and I want to follow up from what I said last week, that they're boring, and they are. They had the same amount of first downs as the Raiders this week, and the Raiders had more total plays than them. Fix your stuff.
Win's a win. Don't matter if you're buying into a mile.
No, don't give me this. Don't give me this win's a win thing. Don't do it, because that wasn't that.
In your division.
Yes, you have a W. But here's the thing. They've got not in 3 weeks. They've got 2 games against the Chiefs. That's where it starts coming back to earth.
Yeah. Bangers, hold on. JT with one of the best performances of the year, on pace for 30 total touchdowns, 2,000 yards. He's one of the best we've ever seen. F15 Milan. Absolutely. Yeah, you're 100% correct there. Quick side note, actually, based off of this. MVP?
He should be. He absolutely
The problem is he's neither a quarterback or white. So that's what breaks me a little bit on the MVP voting, is running backs not necessarily getting them. Black running backs a lot less.
Just to be clear for our audience, not because you don't want to vote for black players, but because historically white players get more of the votes.
Thank you. Yeah. If CMC couldn't get it as a white running back, I just don't think that the crusty old white guys that vote for these things are going to go for Jonathan Taylor.
I personally think they'll go for the other crusty old white guy, and his name's Matthew Stafford, who since week 4 has thrown 3 touchdowns, no picks, 3 touchdowns, no picks, a touchdown, no pick, 5 touchdowns, no picks, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Since week 4, he's thrown 20 touchdowns, no picks.
And bonkers stat, and we talked about Lions earlier on to kind of come a bit full circle on that. For a guy that has won a Super Bowl, has a Hall of Fame level career for his play, and he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he's, like you say, MVP and potentially the best team in the football right now. This win at the weekend, finally, for the first time in his 13-year career, hit a career .500 winning record. And he's never, ever managed that before. And that's how much of a hole he had to dig himself out of after leaving the Lions. It's absolutely bananas.
He finally has a winning record for the first time.
No. This is it.
He's won as many games as he's lost. And he's drawn one.
He's bang on.
It's bang on, man.
Who's he got this week?
Let's have a look, because I need to check that.
15 each. He's a monster, man.
Yeah, and this week he has to face
the Seattle Seahawks.
So he might not even get it then. He might drop below.
That's game of the week.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah,
I don't know about that one. That's a bold statement.
We've got to get onto it eventually, the big conflict league plus what we like about this week. But roll with it, Alex. We like to talk about the game that we want to watch this week. What are you thinking?
It's the Lions Eagles.
I just don't want to watch the Eagles, man.
It's the Lions Eagles, and it is only because of the Lions. The Eagles are one of the most boring Super Bowl winners of all time. Like, yeah, we've discussed that millions of times, but like Dan Campbell's, as we discussed earlier on in the pod, and I said so earlier on, Dan Campbell's still taking over plays this week. Like, he's not handing them back. He's got that thing there. So if they can score on every possession last week, what can they do against this Eagles team that is not entirely not fireable? They're not 100% superpower. They can fall off.
It'll be fantastic. It'd be fascinating to see kind of that the irresistible force meets the immovable object. But if they can get going, it'd be really fascinating to see how that Eagles offense reacts. And if they just start to sling it, AJ Brown might actually get some fancy points this week, which would be nice. Why don't you target your star receiver? It will be a good game, but I am outsiding Seahawks Rams because I think both are entertaining teams and good on both sides of the ball. And it's divisional, so it matters even more.
Yeah, that's the other one, is the divisional thing there, because obviously both of them could be number one and they're fighting for that. But that is the battle of the number one seed in all of the divisions.
Meanwhile, Monday Night Football, the prime game of the week as far as the Americans are concerned, is Cowboys Raiders. Yeah. And for some reason on free television, we get a 9:25 kickoff for Chiefs Broncos, which is a close second for like game of the week. This, Alex, is where you're either proven incredibly right or incredibly wrong. If the Broncos come out and they're boring, then you're right, and they will be boring for the rest of the season, and then maybe they win one playoff game and get knocked out. If they look interesting, do something fun, like poke them with a stick, do something, and beat the Chiefs, then A, I'm dining out on my preseason predictions, but B, then I think we might get a feisty Bronco. But the thing is, as well, they're 8-2, and they're just doing the Chelsea part of the bus, you know. Just really. Why are the Chiefs 5-4? I've just realized this. The 8-2 Broncos are against the 5-4 Chiefs. Jeez.
And according to the Pick'em, win probability 64% in favor of the Chiefs, and it's in Mile High.
Yeah,
I don't buy that. That's that kind of take lock. This is what we decided before the season, and we're going to stick to that. I just don't see how the Chiefs are the favourites going into Mile High with those records.
That must have changed, because I'm looking at my pick'em here, and the underdogs that I've got this week is Chicago to beat Minnesota, because I'm picking Chicago every week. Pete, you've done something to me. In fact, I've got a beef with you. I really wanted to watch the Giants this week, and I was like, no, they're against the Bears. I should probably watch something else because Pete will have plenty to say on that game. And I had it on in the corner, and I was watching another game, but I just kept looking up. And yeah, you've rewired something in me there. But I've got Chicago as the underdog to beat the Vikings. JJ was nice enough to come out and start like looking like the JJ McCarthy that they thought he was going to be, but genuinely seeing everything that I've seen of the Bears recently, I could see them walking that by 14 plus points. I could see a 2-touchdown lead early, and then the Vikings struggle to pull it back. They may only win by 3 or 2 or 1, not by very much, but I don't think the Vikings. I think if the Bears get a slight lead early on, I don't think the Vikings will be able to keep up.
I think it depends on which Vikings turn up. I mean, they beat the Lions last week. Oh, like 9 days ago. The Bears I think the Bears can stop the running game. They've generally, I know the first half against the Giants, they couldn't get anything going. They got a little bit going because they had a mobile quarterback, and I think that made the difference. But generally, the Bears have been good against running recently, terrible against wide receivers. So if McCarthy can turn it on with Addison and Hawkinson and Jefferson, if he has a good day, the Bears are in serious trouble because they'll just pepper them. It feels like a coin toss game to me. But Renard out has me picking the Bears in this one. I think it's a big difference.
The difference for me is that I feel like the Bears pass rush has been improving every week.
And that is Austin Booker. So Austin Booker was the, I think, 4th or 5th round DE that they got drafted last season. He was on IR for the first half of the season. He's been back the last couple of weeks. And he was the guy that got like 5 or 6 sacks in preseason and then went on IR. He's ascending. I think he could be really, really good. And 4.5 sacks in the last 4 weeks from Montez Sweat. He's finally started it going. So you're right, it is starting to get there, but they have been playing terrible offensive lines, which the Vikings are healthier now. So we'll see. It's a close game, and it's in Minnesota. So I'm not as bullish as you are.
Going to the pick 'em on this. Hey, boys, we're all climbing that ladder. Alex, a respectable 88 and 61. You're up to 11th. P 89 and 60. But out of you and I, you're the New York Giants. I'm the New York Jets, and I'm 91 58. Up in 8th place, just slightly ahead of you there. I absolutely woofed on every underdog last week, and this week I've already mentioned I think Chicago got beat Miami. The other underdog, because there has to be one in the Detroit-Philly game. Detroit apparently are the underdog, and I've taken them because, again, I find Philadelphia boring, so why the hell not? Sneaking upset, I always like to sneak one in there. I think the Carolina Panthers could nick one from the Falcons. You just don't know in the NFC South. And, man, I had a banger. It was Tyler Shook.
You did?
Yeah, you did have a banger.
Yeah, he did have a banger. I don't know if we've quite been proven right about all of the weird hype that I had for Shook before the season started, but I'm just going to knock this out there. 19 of 27, 282, 2 touchdowns. Olave also had a banger. He looked beautiful. Let's just stick that out there. They're doing the anti-tank at the moment, which is smart because the Jets won, so you can get away with a win and still look like you're not ethically tanking. But really, we all know that bar the Titans, who apparently are going back-to-back tank champions, that New Orleans are going to be up there. We don't want Manning anyway. Or we want to wait for him to be good and be another season on. I'm going to give a shout-out to the... Again, we're going back-to-back here. S Black 74 has broke 100 points. He's got 102 to 47. He's the first overall. He's ahead by 3 now. I haven't studied it. I don't know if he's just picking all of the favorites. I don't know if he knows more than we do. But to pick like 2/3 correctly is actually quite impressive, to be fair, when we're on like the early 90s, late 80s from that one. But yeah, no brave souls this week. Nobody had an onion hanger out there and picked an underdog and took the win. Everybody went pretty safe.
Can I give a special shout out to one player that does the pick'em? Can I do that?
Yes.
Is that allowed? Can I give a shout out to Rob Nugent 10, who did not pick any games in the early window and panicked and only picked the 2 late window games and then Monday Night Football, and completely forgot to do all of his picks, and it's the only reason why I'm in the top 10.
Hey, good work, Rob. I think Rob's been. It's funny actually. He's been out there. He's had the odd onion hanger this season where he's picked the random team that the Cardinals to beat Dallas, for instance. So yeah, Rob. Oh man, hate to see it, but it did mean that Alex broke into the top 11, his highest position so far. So we appreciate everything that you're doing for us, mate. Pete, you got any underdogs, overdogs, wombling free?
Underdogs, I have picked the Bears v the Vikings, even though I don't feel overly great about it. I think the Lions will beat the Eagles. I think they'll be too powerful and they'll get it going. And I think even with Mariota and McLaurin out, the Commanders will beat the Dolphins in Miami as well. And they are technically the underdogs. I think that could be quite a good game because Mariota is still mobile. Krosky Merritt's fallen off after the early season excitement with Bill Krosky. But I still think they'll have enough to beat Miami in Miami.
There are some really garbage games this week.
Go on.
There are. Like the one that Pinch just mentioned, the Commanders, Finns, terrible. The Texans, Titans, awful. The 49ers and Cardinals, Yawnfest. Maybe, depending on which Packers team and which Giants team you get, the Packers Giants will be absolute boring as well.
Hope for a new head coach bounce.
We've got Chargers Jags, that could be saucy. Seahawks Rams. Yeah. I cannot actually wait for that. And 9:05. Give me that late window. What we got in the late window? 4 games. So Chiefs Broncos, Seahawks Rams, Niners Cards, and Ravens Browns are all in the late window. That's stuff that you love to see because the Browns aren't very good, but Myles Garrett is going to be chasing Lamar Jackson all over the place. I'm just going to have the Benny Hill theme ready for the needle drop whenever it cuts over to there because that's going to be awesome. I think you could probably skip the 6 o'clock. Chargers Jags, I like the look of. Don't care for Bengals Steelers. Don't care for Packers Giants. Giants are going to win, by the way, because whenever anybody fires a head coach, they win the following game. Just is what it is. Bears Vikings. I'm going to give it to that. Texans Titans. Don't care. Buccaneers Bills. Panthers Falcons. Hope they both lose. Commanders Dolphins. Love it when 2 idiots bump heads. So that might not be too bad. TNF Jets Patriots. That's a 6-minute highlight video in the morning, isn't it? So yeah.
Oh no, it's going to be like 14 minutes because there's going to be so many touchdowns for the Patriots.
Yeah,
they're going to put on a cricket score.
No, because I think they're just going to take the foot off the gas and be like, it feels unfair. Like,
right, yeah, almost when your little brother wants to play you at FIFA or anything like that, or Madden if we're going at this, and you're like, right, no, after 2 touchdowns, it's that harsh. Yeah.
You could be Real Madrid. I will pick Scunthorpe United. Let's have a go. Yeah,
there you go.
That's what it feels like. Scunthorpe Real.
I would pay so much money to see that. Just want to give a little fashion shout out. We've got Rivals Gear is starting to kick up a fuss. The beautiful midnight LA Rams one is going to be on show this week. And I think the Patriots, who arguably have the nicest Rivals Gear, the nautical themed thing, that's going to be on Thursday Night Football as well. So there's going to be some good kits out there. Any other final thoughts, fellas?
No, that's it for me. Thank you for today, and thank you for the shout out for mental health at the beginning as well. So I appreciated that. Thank you.
I was gonna say go Bolts, but then Pete took it seriously, so I'm just gonna be like, thanks to everybody that's chipped in during the show. It's actually really helped everybody.
Yeah, it's all good fun. And again, if anybody needs anything, reach out to one of us on social media. We'll have a chat with you. Why not? Come on the pod. We'll just have a chat. Everybody remember to also tweet Murph. Make sure that if you want a podcast, he gives you a podcast because that's just how it works. And from all of us here, and especially Alex, go Bolts. And we mean that. And we're out.